How y'all doing? And thanks for watching. It's George over here at Wicked Warnings. I figured I'd start this video with the switches. Never do that. Remember, we're your #1 source for construction and emergency LED strobe lighting and safety equipment for cars, vans, buses, trucks, everything else in between. And I got my nice new Dymo labeler going on here. Just threw some labels on these switches for this particular client. Figured I'd work it out nicely. As you can see, we've got LED flash, which is all of his aftermarket strobe lighting. OEM flash, which is all of his auto flasher modules on his OEM lights. An all flood button. Sorry about the shaky camera. I can't fit my tripod in the cab here. An all flood button there for his white flood override. A bar pattern switch for the rear stick pattern. And of course, that famous ejectocito, cuz. All right, let me show you what this all controls. Fuel pump switch. You're going to be running that WeatherGuard L-shaped fuel tank with our fill right fill nozzle on the other side there, complemented by a nice WeatherGuard toolbox here. Let me show you some of the lighting package around the front. All right, so we'll call this, I don't know, mode 1, switch 2, whatever you want to call it. This is the LED flash, is all the aftermarket lights. And what you're looking at right in the front of that truck right now is 4 of our ThinX LEDs. Now that's a 2-color programmable light. It'll flash only amber or only white or amber and white like you see it. It'll also do a flood white override. And you can set it up on a split pattern, which is what you see here, where the light is kind of split in half and bounces back and forth inside itself. Or you can also set up that same light on a full display pattern as we have in the badges. You can see right here in the badge, very same light, our ThinX light, but on a full display color swap where it's amber white. Again, you can pick any color you want and you could set it up. Now the camera's having a little hard time picking up the speed of that, but that is on a triple flash fast alternation there. And you can see around the back of the truck, our Lin 8 is mimicking that underneath the side tail in the back. More about that later. Let me show you a little bit more around the front of the truck. Another shot of that badge. Alrighty, so back around the front of the truck, this will be your LED flash. Let's go ahead and activate the OEM flash and show you what those auto flasher modules do. Alrighty, now with the OEM flash switch activated, you can see our auto flasher module wig-wagging those DRLs in the front headlights there. You can also see it running the amber mirror light as well as the white mirror light. Now those are set to alternate flash, amber, white, amber, white. We also have our kit on the roof, and that's set on a pattern where it varies in speed. That roof is flashed in unison. It is not alternating on the roof. We're flashing all 5 lights simultaneously on that roof install. You can do that right from the A-pillar. Now what you're seeing here is 4 auto flasher kits, 4 separate modules. 1 on the DRL, 1 on the amber mirror, 1 on the white mirror, and 1 on the roof. That is how you can mimic this exact effect if you're looking for it, but it does take 4 separate kits to do what you're seeing here. There's a little closer view there so you can see the roof. Now the reason we did it this way is a customer requested that we have an alternation on the mirror between the amber and the white. It looks good. I can see why they like that, but I didn't want to match everything together, so I wanted to set the roof a little bit different. So as you can see, the roof has a different pattern setting, so it draws your eye a little bit differently up top with the roof flashing. Now around the front of the truck, you can see this will be what it looks like if the headlights or the parking lights are in the off position. Of course, you don't lose any function of any of these lights when the system is off. All of these lights are going to work normally just fine. Your headlight DRLs, your mirror lights, your roof lights. You don't lose any functionality at all. And if your lights happen to be on, say it was nighttime, you can see this will be the display you get, illuminating those amber strips in the headlights and the other parking lights around the truck. Now, the other cool feature that I didn't even tell the customer about is our all flood switch. So we have tied in quite a few different areas of the truck to illuminate with the flood switch. Now that'll override the flashing. As you can see now, flashing is still on, but we've flooded the ThinX in the grille, the ThinX in the badges, the white mirror lights, but we've let the DRLs stay flashing. We also let the amber mirror and the roof stay flashing. So he doesn't lose all the warning when he does flood. And like I say, of course, if the warning is off, as you can see, your parking lights return to normal, your DRLs return to normal, and you could still use the flood too. So if you're just loading a trailer, or it's dark out and you wanted to hit the flood switch, if you're off-roading a little bit, need a little bit of extra light, or for whatever, you can go ahead and hit that flood white switch and illuminate those Thin-X in the grill, the Thin-X in the badges, the white mirrors, and some other stuff around the rear. There you can see those badge lights flooded out white. All right, let me pull the truck around and show you the back. Oh yeah, got a lot going on around the back. So we also have a back rack we added on this truck to hold some things like that 6-head Wicked stick. We've got our Raptor LEDs mounted on the toolbox. Now those are particularly requested by the customer because he pulls some trailers and he's found that the toolbox lights actually work really well when there's a trailer kind of blocking the back end of the truck. So we added those Raptors right there on the toolbox. They have a really good 180-degree lens, so you really can see that light all the way around the side of the truck. The Raptors are tied into the flood mode. The Thin-X on the badges are tied in. We've also got two of those very same Thin-X underneath the tailgate. Those are tied into flood. You can see the reverse lights are on. That's because our auto flasher module on the reverse circuit is tied into flood. Now the tail light ring is on right now just because the parking lights are on. Our LIN 8 LED is in flood mode right underneath the tail light there on the side facing aspect. Let me go ahead and flash all this and show you what it looks like. So our Switch 2, our LED flash, that's just going to give us all of our aftermarket add-on lighting. It gives us our 6-head Wicked stick up there. We've also got a pattern selection so we can change that pattern if we wanted, but I like that one that it's on now. Activates our Raptors and our Thin-X in the badges. Activates our LIN 8s under the side of the tail in a nice alternating pattern similar to the badge up front. We've got a kind of a faster triple flash amber white between the front badge and the side tail back. And underneath the tailgate, we've got a triple flash split pattern, kind of the same as what we had up in the front grille for the two Thin-X that are mounted above the license plate. Now, when I hit the OEM flash and we add in some of the OEM lights, have you noticed now that the parking lights in the back working perfectly normal, no issues, reverse lights work normal, but when we hit the OEM flash and activate those auto flasher modules, you can see what we've activated is the cargo light, the tail light ring, and the reverse light. All requested specifically by the customer. His actual terminology was flash every single light on the truck that you can. So we went with all of our kits here. We've got our taillight kit synchronized and alternating with our reverse kit. And we've got our cargo kit. So what you're seeing in the back here is 3 auto flasher kits. One on the cargo light, which is running the cargo light right there under the back rack, as well as that little tailgate keyhole light, that little white light by the handle of the tailgate. That is activated when you interrupt the cargo circuit via method 3 in the instructions. There are a couple different ways to do that cargo, and one of them ties in the little tailgate light, as you see. All of that's covered in the instructions. And you can see we have a nice X pattern on the tail light, reverse light combination. Here's what it looks like from straight behind. And there's the phone ringing. As I said earlier, you can change the pattern on that stick. And let me show you the flood from directly behind once more when we hit that flood white switch. I'm going to leave the warning activated right now, both OEM and aftermarket, just to show you what remains when we hit the flood. Alrighty, so out back, as I said, the stick floods, the Raptors flood, but what we left off the flood mode was the cargo and the tails. So we get him a little bit of red in the back, a little bit of white warning. That way he doesn't lose everything if he happens to be in flood mode and still needs some warning as well. So that's what it's going to look like off to the corner there. And remember, we already covered in the front what remains active when you're in the flood mode. So I don't know. I don't like... Man, phone's hot today. A lot of people want a lot of stuff. So I lost my train of thought totally there. I'm sorry. Be totally honest with you on the video. I hope you appreciate that. If it made you laugh, drop a comment and let me know. So I'm going to wrap it up here. We're approaching 10 minutes. I don't know if I forgot anything. If I did, I'm sorry. If you want any more info, definitely hit me up about this build. I will say this. We've got probably I will say I got about 24 hours of labor wrapped up in this, and that was at a good clip. I would ballpark 32 hours or possibly 40 for a novice install on this job. I know I'm getting asked a lot about the hours lately, so I'll try to throw a few still pics if I have them from the install in here as well towards the end of the video. And you can always get this parts package. If you like all these lights, you can get all these lights and all the individual auto flasher kits that were mentioned. You get all of that via the links in the video. We have all these parts in stock on wickedwarnings.com, so you can go ahead and get all the parts together and you can make this build on your own. If you'd like all these parts, visit wickedwarnings.com, and don't forget, we are your #1 source for construction and emergency safety and strobe lighting equipment for cars, vans, buses, trucks, bicycles, tricycles, SUVs, and everything in between. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. I almost forgot to show you guys. Look at all this fun stuff under the hood. Whoa. Whoa. Look at that. Look at that. Whoa. Look over here. Look at this thing. Whoa. Look at all that stuff. Man, I bet this truck is fast. I'll get me something like this. wickedwarnings.com